You open your eyes in the morning, you pad into the bathroom, and you do the same thing you have done every single day for years. You reach for that soft cotton towel, and you rub your hair dry. Then you grab a rubber band, you pull your hair back, and you go about your day. Completely normal, completely harmless. Except it is not harmless at all. Those normal daily habits are quietly, methodically destroying your fine natural hair, and the worst part is, you will not see the damage today. You will not see it tomorrow. You will see it 3 months from now when you wonder why your ends look see-through, why your ponytail feels thinner, why your hair refuses to grow past your shoulders. It was never one big mistake. It was the thousands of tiny ones you did not even know were mistakes. My name is Aisha Carter, and I am a trichologist. I have spent years studying the biology of the scalp and the chemistry of the products we put on our hair, and I have watched too many women with fine natural hair follow all the mainstream advice and still lose length. Not because they are doing something obviously wrong, but because they are doing 100 things that are only slightly wrong. Individually, each habit seems harmless, but on a fine strand, the margin for error is so small that what would be a minor stress on coarse hair becomes a fracture on yours. So let us talk about what is actually happening at the strand level when you do these normal things, and more importantly, what you can swap in that will keep your length intact without turning your life into a full-time hair care job. First, we need to be clear about what fine natural hair actually is, because this gets confused all the time. Fine hair is not the same as low-density hair. Low density means you have fewer strands per square inch on your head. That can make your scalp more visible and your hair look flat, but each individual strand might be perfectly thick and strong. Fine hair is different. Fine hair means each individual strand has a smaller diameter. It has fewer cuticle layers on average. It has a lower cross-sectional strength. That means the same amount of friction, the same amount of heat, the same amount of pull, the same amount of product buildup creates exponentially more damage per strand. Your hair can be dense, meaning you have a lot of strands, but every single one of those strands can still be fine, and that changes everything about how you should treat it. Let me start with the habit that I see destroy the most length without anyone realizing it. You detangle your hair before you wash it to remove shed hairs. Then you detangle it again when the water hits. Then you rake your fingers through it while you shampoo. Then you detangle it properly while you condition. Then you detangle it again when you are styling. That is 5 rounds of combing or brushing on fine strands in a single wash day. And every single pass creates lateral shear along the cuticles. On a coarse strand, the cuticle is thick enough to withstand multiple passes. On a fine strand, each pass lifts the cuticle a little more, scuffs the surface a little more, and eventually creates microchips in the hair shaft. Those microchips become splits. Those splits travel up the strand, and then you have wispy ends that break off before they ever get a chance to grow past your shoulders. The fix is to collapse all of your detangling into one single window. One window. Finger detangle in the shower with tons of conditioner under running warm water, or brush detangle with a wide tooth comb and lots of slip. That is it. If you want to pre-separate to remove shed hairs before you get in the shower, fine, but do that gently with your hands, not with a comb, and then hands off until you are styling. Your hair does not need to be fully detangled at every step. In fact, your natural hair can never be fully detangled, and the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop forcing it to bend to your tools. Now, here is another one that sounds completely innocent. You switch your hairstyle every few days because you like variety, because you want your hair to look fresh, because you saw a cute style on social media and you want to try it. Monday, you do a puff. Tuesday, you do twists. Wednesday, you do a half up, half down. Thursday, you do a slick back. Friday, you refresh your wash and go. That is 5 different forced directions on your delicate fibers in a single week. Each time you restyle, you are putting new tension on the strand, new friction, new pull, and fine hair fatigues under repeated loading, just like a paperclip fatigues when you bend it back and forth. 1 bend does nothing. 10 bends, the metal starts to weaken. 50 bends, it snaps. Your hair is the same. Each restyle is a bend. The fix is to be boring with your hairstyles. Pick one style for the week and stick to it. If you want to wear a wash and go, wear it for the entire week. At the end of the week, put it in a simple bun. Do not part it again. Do not slick it down again. Do not brush it again. Let your hair rest. The longer you keep the same style, the less cumulative stress you put on each strand. I know we all like fresh hair. I do too. But your hair will not look like wash day hair every single day of its life, and that is okay. Setting that expectation will save you so much breakage. This next one is going to ruffle some feathers, but I have to say it. Blunt cuts on fine natural hair. I know you see those crisp, clean, blunt ends on social media and you want them, I understand. They look neat, they look polished, but on fine strands, a hard, blunt cut can actually make the ends look see-through and collapse the shape of the hair. Here is why. Coarse hair has enough heft and density to support a blunt line. The strands are thick enough that when you cut them straight across, they hold that shape. Fine strands do not have that heft. When you cut them blunt, they tend to clump together in a way that exposes the scalp between the clumps, and then the ends fray faster because there is no taper to distribute the mechanical stress. Your hair does not grow blunt, it grows tapered. So, cutting it blunt is fighting your hair's natural structure. Instead of chasing that blunt line, let your ends be wispy. Let them taper. That taper is actually protecting your length because it allows the strand to bend without snapping at a single hard point. If you must have a blunt look, do it on stretched hair with very sharp shears, and understand that it may not look the same on day 3 as it did on day 1. Let me talk about edges for a moment. I am the unofficial president of the No Edges Association, and I need you to hear this. Your edges are the finest fibers on your entire head. They have shorter growth cycles and fewer cuticle layers than the hair on the rest of your scalp. And yet we pull them into tight buns, tight braids, tight cornrows, and we slick them down with heavy gels and wrap them with tight scarves. Every single day, pulling plus repetition equals traction alopecia. It is not a question of if, it is a question of when. The fix is simple. Leave your edges out. Do not style them, do not brush them, do not gel them. Let them be loose. If a style pinches, it is too tight. If a style gives you a headache, it is too tight. And while we are on this topic, watch out for bonnets that are not lined on the inside. The exposed elastic or the rough fabric will break your edges and your nape area faster than almost anything else. Also, watch out for shower caps placed over your edges overnight. That constant friction from the plastic or the elastic creates shear load over weeks that reads as thinning and recession at the temples. Leave your edges alone. They are not for styling. They are for framing your face gently. Now, I am going to say something that might make some people uncomfortable, but it is the truth. If you have fine natural hair and you are taking hair care advice from creators with coarse hair, you are probably damaging your hair without realizing it. I am not saying coarse-haired creators are wrong. Their hair is gorgeous. Their routines work beautifully for their strand type. But their strand physics is fundamentally different from yours. Coarse strands tolerate more brushing. They tolerate heavier butters and thicker styling products. They tolerate tighter molding and more manipulation. They tolerate hard resets without showing damage quickly. When you apply the same routine to fine strands, you see thinning faster. You see flakes from buildup. You see styles that fall flat because the product is too heavy for the strand to hold. The fix is to look for creators who explicitly say fine hair. Watch and appreciate everyone. But when you take a tip from a coarse-haired creator, scale it down. Use a lighter hand. Use fewer passes. Use a shorter wear time. Scale it back until it suits your strand. If a step increases friction or heat or pull, it needs a proportional reduction on your fine hair. Let me talk about blow drying with a comb attachment, because I know this is another controversial one. Comb attachments concentrate force on the hair, while the cuticles are vulnerable from heat. On fine strands, that creates mid-shaft splits. You get stretched hair, yes, but you pay in micro breaks that accumulate over time. Fine hair undergoes cyclic loading, and it is only a matter of time before the strand stretches and snaps because it cannot return to its original position. The better approach is to blow dry using the tension method. Keep the section taut with your hand, not a comb. Use medium to high heat with high fan speed, and finish with a cool pass. If you absolutely must use a comb, reserve it for the very last pass on the last 10 to 15% of the section on low heat, with a wide tooth comb only, nothing fine, nothing small. And leave your ends out of the equation entirely, especially if they are already compromised. Blow drying is not bad for your hair. I blow dry my hair regularly, but adding load again and again and again will compromise your fine hair over time. And since we are on the topic of loading, let me talk about extensions. Added hair increases load on your roots. Load plus time equals traction. Your fine roots fatigue faster because they are fine, especially around the temples, the nape, and the lines of your parting. The style may look sleek on day one, but the price you pay is shedding clusters and short, broken hairs after takedown. If it hurts, imagine how your follicles feel. The fix is to use your own hair for your styles. No added hair, or at most, feather-light added hair. Do not use more extension hair than you have natural hair in a section. Use fewer parts so your sections are bigger. And please do not put heavy beads at the end of skinny braids or skinny twists. That weight pulls directly on the root and creates traction alopecia over time. No style is worth losing your edges or your crown density. I want to pause here for a moment because I know this is a lot of information and I want to make sure you have a way to actually apply it. If you are thinking, okay, Aisha, I hear you, but what does a full week actually look like for fine natural hair? What product should I use? What order should I do things in? I put together something that answers exactly that. It is the routine I follow myself, and I left it in the pinned comment below this video. It is not a product list. It is a framework. It tells you how to structure your wash day, your style week, and your refresh days so you stop accumulating damage without thinking about it. Go check the pinned comment when you finish the video. It will save you months of trial and error. Now let me talk about something that happens to all of us. Doing your hair when you are frustrated, when you are rushed, or when you are hungry. I have done it. You have done it. Your grip strength increases when you are stressed. Your hands pull harder. You are less patient. You yank with your brush. And cortisol nudges scalp sensitivity, so everything feels off. And then you overcorrect, and the cycle continues. The fix is to move your hair tasks to a fed and calmer window. Have a meal. Have a drink. Wash your hair when you are not stressed. Put on music if that helps. But do not bring the energy of, let me just get this done to your hair. Stop. Do the simplest thing you can do, like put it in a bun, and postpone the rest to when you have a more conducive time. Your hair will thank you. I also need to talk about washing your hair in twists or braids. I know this is popular advice for controlling tangles, but on fine strands, it is a disaster. Those small twists form ropes that wrap around each other and create webbing. You feel tangle-free when you wash, and then you spend an hour post-wash day undoing knots along the entire length. I tried it 3 times this year. Each time was a nightmare. Never again. Wash your hair loose or in very large sections. Do not condense fine strands into tiny twists before wetting them. They will lock together, and you will lose length trying to separate them. And finally, over-clarifying. If you have fine natural hair and you are using a strong clarifying shampoo on a schedule, even when you do not use heavy products, you are stripping the surface lipids in the cell membrane complex that help your cuticles lie flat. Your already fine strands lose slip very fast. The smarter path is to match your cleanser strength to the actual buildup and water hardness you deal with. If you have hard water, use a true chelating shampoo periodically and follow it with a rich conditioner. If you have soft water and you use light products, you do not need to clarify every week. You probably need it once a month, or even less. Listen to your hair, not a schedule. Here is what I want you to take away from all of this. Your fine natural hair is not weak. It is not difficult. It is simply different. It has different tolerances, different needs, and different responses to stress. The habits that work for coarse hair will break your hair. The habits that seem normal, like rubbing with a towel or using a tight rubber band or detangling multiple times, those are the habits that keep your length stuck. But once you understand the mechanism, once you see what is happening at the strand level, you can swap those habits for ones that actually protect your length. And it does not require you to be in your hair 24/7. It requires you to be intentional with the moments you are in your hair. If you want to go deeper on this, if you want a step-by-step that takes all of these principles and turns them into an actual weekly rhythm, the pinned comment has exactly that. It is the routine I use myself, and it is designed specifically for fine natural hair. Go check it out after this video. And remember, your hair is not fighting you. It is responding to what you do. Change what you do, and your hair will change what it does. I am Aisha Carter, and I will see you in the next one.